And welcome everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Fantasy Football One-on-One Studios, aka Typhoon's TV. I'm your humble host of Fantasy Typhoon, aka The Mentalist, aka your favorite analyst. And today, 2 minutes with Typhoon, we're going over Christian McCaffrey. And like I said, what we're doing here is, let me give you the disclaimer. First and foremost, we're just making recommendations here. And we're not saying what to do or how to do it. We're just making recommendations, and it's up to you to say, you know what, Typhoon, it sounds good. I think I'll do that. Or you can say, Typhoon, hey, man, nah, not doing that. That's the disclaimer. Do as you choose. Make sure you comment. Want to see comments on this one, on all videos, like a little interaction with from you to help me get better at doing this and bringing you better videos to better suit your needs, because these are for you. Also, in the disclaimer, this one here is going to be a discussion on Christian McCaffrey. And let me one more before I get into the analysts. Um, I was trying to figure out a way to bring you Christian McCaffrey because right now I'm stuck. This is true analyst what we bring to the table, and for me to be full disclosure and totally upfront and honest with you, I'm at a crossroads with Christian McCaffrey at the moment. I really don't know what to say. So what I did, I just went back to my draft guide, which I'm doing releasing for the 2018 season. So I just want to bring to you what I wrote about Christian McCaffrey. Uh, let's say about a month and a half ago. Let's just expound on that. All right. Uh, Welcome to the 2018 Professional Draft Guide from the Fantasy Typhoon, sponsored by Fantasy Football 101. All right, let's scroll down, and I'm doing grading scales this year. I'm adding something new, um, telling you why we do what we do. Also, uh, giving you something on where the game is going in a couple of years. Let's see, where is that? Right here. Before we get started, I usually like to try and teach my readers what's happening in the NFL and where it's going in years to come. So right here, I'm just showing you some things fantasy-wise to start uh, looking for certain shifts in formations, looking for certain shifts and where the ball's going, trying to keep you ahead of the curve so you can start seeing what new players are being coveted. Do the grading scale. Blue, that's what blue means, and I'm color coding each comment to the to whatever player, whatever color we grade that player to be. You got red, you have blue, which are the ballers. Your Antonio Browns and things of that nature. Then you have green, red, gold, purple, and I don't know. I'm thinking about adding roster resource uh, to the kit as well. We're giving you the breakdowns. But all right, enough of that. Let's just get on to the Carolina Panthers. And see, like I said, I'm working on it now. Long way to go. I'm filling it in as I research and go. But this is what I wrote on Christian McCaffrey. Let's say I would say about a month ago. All right, now let's start Christian McCaffrey. Two 2 minutes with Typhoon. Maybe give me a little bit more. This one is more of a discussion on Christian McCaffrey because I don't know what to do with him. I'll let you read it while I talk. Now, I really think Get Gettleman drafting Christian McCaffrey so high. I think that was part of the reason that and married that with his treatment of contract year players. He, you know, um, Josh Norman, the handling of that, and then drafting Christian McCaffrey so high, a top 10 player. When you draft a top 10 player in the NFL, he's got to play. He can't be a 1B. We hear Fantasy Football 101 vision Christian McCaffrey a 1B basically for his whole career. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a simple fact that you can't draft a 1B in the top 10 of the draft, of the NFL draft. You don't come there. You don't sit that high at the table to draft a 1B. Now, his first year he served behind Jonathan Stewart. I wrote this way before even thought about. I wrote this the day, if you read right here, with the release. I'm honest with you. Didn't backtrack anything to make it look good. This is true analysis and how it comes to fruition. I'm just taking you through the process, and I'm giving you a reason why I just can't give anything on Christian McCaffrey, but you deserve to hear something about him. So this is Christian McCaffrey 1. There'll be a Christian McCaffrey 2, maybe a 3. It just depends on how it's stretched out. But as of today, with the C.J. Anderson news coming out yesterday, you deserve something to know what you need to do with what we suggest or recommend to do with Christian McCaffrey at the moment. Right now, man, you just got to hold for the moment because look, what was I going to say? With the release of Jonathan Stewart today, what is the future of Christian McCaffrey? So this is what I was writing when Jonathan Stewart was released. Remember that there's a new regime in place, a new GM. They didn't draft him. A new offensive coordinator, Norv Turner, didn't draft him. They didn't bring in Christian McCaffrey. So they have no allegiance to him. He was drafted too high to be an afterthought in his offense. So he was drafted top 10. So you just can't say, well, Chris McCaffrey, they're just going to kick him to the side and, move on. So it's too much draft capital went into this. So he's got to play. So we got to put that in there. Now, when you look at the head coach, what did he say a couple of weeks ago on the blurb was that Cameron Artis-Payne would split time, which was the truth for the day. I mean, he knew they were getting ready to add a back, but at that day, that's how the head coach is there in Carolina. He gives you truth for today. Now, tomorrow could be something totally different, but at that moment, yeah, Cameron Artis-Payne was looking to be the top back, but we already had you prepared for it because, look, they don't have another competent back on the roster, so don't fool yourself into thinking they are not adding another running back. So we already covered that for you. So if you were with us through that before the rookie draft and after the Jonathan Stewart release, we temper your expectations. Don't get up and get glad and start shouting Chris McCaffrey is the lead back because he's not. That's not who he is. When you look at him in reality, take fantasy all out of, we're stripping off the makeup and the earrings and the lipstick and the eyeshadow. We're breaking down who Christian McCaffrey is at the base. And then we're going to build him back up. But as of today, let's see. So don't fool yourself into thinking they're not adding another running back. So here's the questions we need answered. Did they grade him as an undersized running back? What is the grade, Norv Turner? Because they grade all their players and every player in the NFL. When they were looking at their board, what grade did Christian McCaffrey get? Now, do they move him to wide receiver? I know it sounds funny. But if you look at his mold and you look at his usage and you really look at him as a player, his skill set is skewed to the wide receiver side. He's more comfortable, more fluid, more at home and relaxed and not thinking as a wide receiver. Now I know he has running back designation, but we would be malpractice for us to not mention the simple fact that he could be moved to wide receiver designation and be stripped of running back designation on your fantasy sites. Now, what that means is he'll be on the field all the time, but at the same time, that doesn't mean he can't be used as a running back at times. You see what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like more like a Tyreek Hill than more like a Tyreek Hill than what he is now. He's a running back first now, who does wide receiver second. But we're thinking it's a possibility he could move to wide receiver first and do running back second, which is what he did last year. That was a wide receiver last year, what you saw. But he had running back designation. And that's the truth. Now, will they do that? I don't know. Just like I'm saying, we're just having a discussion about Christian McCaffrey because just think of Chris today. Let's say you were coming down Christian McCaffrey Street, and you got to the stop sign. There's no more road of Christian McCaffrey Street. It veers off into three. There's three other streets in front of you. Christian McCaffrey Place to the left, Christian McCaffrey Avenue going straight, and Christian McCaffrey Place. Did I say place already? Christian McCaffrey Avenue, Christian McCaffrey Place, and Christian McCaffrey Boulevard going the other way. It's three ways this thing could go. And me to jump out ahead of time and try to say I know when I don't I can't do that to you. You deserve better than that. So, then I asked, do they move him to wide receiver? Do they draft a young 220-pound rookie who can catch as well as run between the tackles? Now, they didn't do that, so we can just erase that one. So I need to take that out now of the draft kit now. All right, take that out now because that didn't happen. Do they sign a free agent to come in and be the feature guy? Now, you add in C.J. Anderson. This is where it gets thick because now let's sit back and look. I'm almost. I know I'm going over 2 minutes. Bear with me. This one is delicate. It's a delicate situation. Now let's look at the offense for a moment. They brought in a first-round pick on DJ Moore, so don't be fooled. He's playing and he's getting the ball. You can sit there and try to deny that all you want. That's what's happening. He's the number one wide receiver right now today. He's coming in and soaking up a huge timeshare of the football through the air. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. Olsen is getting the ball. We know this. We know these are facts. We know Moore's getting the ball, and we know Olsen's getting the ball via the air. Now, via the ground. That's what I'm saying. Do they move Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield mix now and make him a designated wide receiver, slot wide receiver? Now he's in competition with, seeping a little bit of targets from Moore and seeping a little bit of target from Olsen. Now you have C.J. Anderson as your foundation, bell cow back with Cameron Artis-Payne backing him up. And Christian McCaffrey still doing some running back duties. It makes sense, but I don't know how that's going to go. But they did bring in a younger, and I was telling the guys in one of my chat rooms, he said it too, Justin Pickle, good analyst as well, of the Hateful Eight. He was saying that C.J. Anderson is a clone of Jay Stu, and I second that. It's a good analogy because it is. C.J. Anderson is a younger Jay Stu. They both, can run, catch in between the tackles, but when they get in the open field and they get a lane to go to the house, they're just slow. They're just slow in the open field. They're not plotters. They're just slower. They're just slower in the open field. And oh man, this is a rough one right now. And mm, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say with Chris McCaffrey. This is a rough one. This is a rough one. That C.J. Anderson addition, how much damage is that really going to do? And I can't tell you. I don't know right now. It's now could Christian McCaffrey start over C.J. Anderson? Absolutely. But we don't see it that way. But could it go that way? Yeah, we got to put it on the table. We're sitting down having a Christian McCaffrey mature discussion. Make sure you comment. About to wrap this one up. I'm going way over 2 minutes on this one, but I just want to sit down and just share some things with you, um, and have a, you know, uh, a fruitful conversation with you. Um, I'll come back and revisit Christian McCaffrey after more information is revealed, or like we do here. We're listening to what the head coaches, offensive coordinators, and the GM say from the podium, because they give you drip drops of nuggets. You just got to know what to pick up and put in your toolbox, and what to throw out. Because there's truth to some of it, but it's truth for only 24 hours or so. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be able to navigate that, and that's what we do here. I've been doing this type of analyst now for about 7 years, and like I said, I'm finally getting up the courage to come out of the basement and bring it to you live and direct. So this has been 2 minutes with Typhoon on Christian McCaffrey. You're at a crossroads right now, so just hold tight. It could get, let's just say, I don't know if I can say it can't get any worse than last year. It can, cause it can. I can tell you this: it's not getting better than last year. I can go on record with that. That's about the only thing I can really go on record with. It's not getting better than last year. Chris McCaffrey took a hit. In what area? I just don't know yet. And I can't go on record with that part. But like I said, what we do here, we try to give you true analysis. This has been 2 minutes with Typhoon. Make sure you comment and subscribe as we continue to go through. We were trying to do all players in the NFL. Thank you.